Good early afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this afternoon version of the Greene Report on Friday. It is the Friday edition of the Green Room. Glad that you're in with us on this afternoon. We're going to recap a little bit of what happened in NCAA basketball last night, looking forward to tonight's games, give you a little bit of NHL and NBA sprinkled in there because there are other sports going on besides March Madness. But we start with the most important thing, and that was the 4 Sweet 16 games that were played last night. We start with UConn San Diego State. This was a game that went back and forth throughout a lot of the process. However, UConn is able to pull it out, run away with it at the end, 74-67. On to BYU versus Florida, a game that was tied because Jimmer Fredette willed his team back into this one, was raining deep threes all night long after struggling in the first half. However, they go to overtime, and eventually BYU does fall to Florida 83-74. Florida advances on to play the winner of Butler and Wisconsin, which is the game that we will go to next. This is a game that, Butler is the underdog, the 8th seed, but they just have this ability, it seems, to win in the tournament. They go on and they top Wisconsin 61-54, so they will play Florida for an opportunity to go to back-to-back Final Fours, And the last game of the night, you had Arizona playing Duke. Duke, a heavy favorite in this one, a team that a lot of people thought had a good chance to repeat. They were up 6 going into the break, but Derek Williams took over in the first half and had help in the second half, and Arizona runs away from Duke 93-77. Leaves a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth if you're a Texas fan like I am, feeling a little bit of thievery, being cheated out of that game against Arizona, but we can't take back what is done now. Arizona does advance on to the Elite 8, and they will play number 3 UConn. Now on to tonight's games. You have a couple of good matchups. You have number 1 Ohio State taking on number 4 Kentucky, number 11 Marquette playing number 2 UNC, number 1 Kansas playing number 12 Richmond, and number 11 VCU taking on number 10 Florida. Now, at this point, my bracket's pretty much messed up. The only game that I actually had that's right of all of these is Ohio State, Kentucky. My winners for tonight's games, give me Ohio State over Kentucky, give me UNC over number 11 Marquette. I'm taking Kansas to beat Richmond, and I'm going to have to say that Florida State is going to beat VCU. So those are my picks for that. On to what few games we had from the association last night. The Dallas Mavericks topped the Minnesota Timberwolves 104-96. The Timberwolves playing without Kevin Love, and it should be noted that the Mavericks winning last night put their overall record at 50-21. That is the Mavericks' 11th straight 50-win season. And the New Orleans Hornets get a crazy shot from who? Emeka Okafor at the end of regulation, sends the game into overtime versus the Utah Jazz, and they end up winning 121-117 in overtime. And to wrap things up, we'll head on to the NHL. You had the Bruins topping the Canadiens 7-0, the first game after that vicious hit that one of the Bruins put on a Canadian player that is actually under criminal investigation right now. Thrashers top the Islanders 2-1. The Senators beat the Rangers 2-1 in a shootout. The Penguins beat the Flyers 2-1 in a shootout. The Blues top the Oilers 4-0. The Predators win 5-4. The Maple Leafs top the Avalanche 4-3. The Coyotes top the Blue Jackets 3-0. And the Kings beat the Sharks 4-3 in a shootout. Tune in tonight to all the interesting college basketball that will be happening, and tune in tomorrow, Saturday at 1 o'clock Central Time to TexasSports.com and check me out on the broadcast with Lane Zeman. We will be calling Texas softball. Should be a great game. First game of Big 12 play. Check it out. Until then, I'm Garrett Greene. Have a good afternoon, and hook 'em horns.